Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Make sure you grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing. Now, Bob Arum has addressed Tyson Fury's comments about the Anthony Joshua fight. This is what he had to say. There are no issues except for the pandemic. Who's going to put up the money for a site fee unless they can attract people? He's impatient. He wants the date. There are no villains here other than the pandemic. So there we go, that is what Bob Arum has explained about Tyson Fury's comments. He's frustrated, of course, we knew that. I mean, if you know Tyson Fury, we've seen him in interviews, so we know as much as Tyson Fury allows us to see. But if previous interviews are anything to go by, then Tyson Fury doesn't always tell the truth. In fact, he just misdirects a lot of people. He even said that himself. If he tells the truth, people don't believe him. If he doesn't tell the truth, they still don't believe him. So that's him kind of saying it doesn't really matter what he says. No one's going to believe him anyway. If he says the fight's on, no one's going to believe him. If he says the fight's off, there are still going to be those who don't believe him because of what AJ said, because of what Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn have explained. Now, of course, there is this problem with the pandemic and getting a site fee for the fight to go to, say, Saudi. The idea for Saudi or somewhere else to put up a site fee for AJ versus Fury, the idea is to draw people to that region. They cannot do that with the pandemic. Of course, cases are low in Saudi, but there are still situations in the UK and in the US and other places around the world. Travel is not necessarily permitted unless it is essential, like for someone's job. So what Bob Arum is getting at is that people cannot travel there. Fans of boxing cannot go and see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury from different places around the world. They can watch it on TV, but they can't necessarily travel because essential travel is the only thing that is permitted in certain countries at the moment. And AJ versus Fury doesn't fall under that category. And that is the motivation behind them putting up a site fee to bring the fight to that region of the world. Now, Bob Arum was asked about fans becoming restless in waiting for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, and this is what he had to say. You know what I say? Go F yourself, find a life, that's what I would say to them. Dude, calm down, wow. Yeah, Bob Arum said that about fans. Of course, he's getting fed up with people saying, when's the fight happening, when's it on? To be fair, he is the one who says 90% done and 95% done. Of course, interviewers ask the questions and they answer them, and they give the best answer that they can. But still, that is what they're involved in. They're a promoter, they build the hype. So therefore, they cannot blame anyone for getting involved and buying into that hype, because they're the ones who kind of perpetuate it. We do hear a lot from the promoters and not a lot from the fighters. The best thing that we can do is just wait for AJ to announce it. Wait for AJ to give us some news. Because I said it in the video yesterday, the only reliable source in all of this is AJ himself. Bob Arum is unreliable. Eddie Hearn, unreliable. Frank Warren hasn't really had too much to say. Tyson Fury, definitely unreliable. But when AJ says that something is going to happen, it's going to happen. So therefore he is the only reliable source, the only one we can take 100% truth from when he says he's got some news coming soon, things are moving forwards and we'll be hearing from him soon. So I guess the best thing to do with regards to waiting for news on this undisputed fight or when it might be announced is just wait for AJ to come out and explain it. And with that, let's move on. Let's talk about Rachel Ball, Shannon Courtney and Ebony Bridges. Rachel Ball is still recovering from COVID-19 and so therefore Shannon Courtney will be stepping in to face Ebony Bridges for the now vacant WBA bantamweight title on Conor Benn's undercard on April 10th. Now, this could be an intriguing matchup because these two were supposed to be fighting last year, I believe. They were trying to set that up, but then Shannon Courtney lost to Rachel Ball. So now this is a fight that has been put on because of Rachel Ball not being able to compete in this contest, because I believe that they were supposed to fight, Rachel Ball and Ebony Bridges as well, but that one didn't come off. That Conor Benn show is actually going to be a very good one because Conor Benn is in a very good fight with Samuel Vargas, who fought Amir Khan only a couple of years ago. There are question marks the level of Amir Khan now considering he is over the hill, but still, Conor Benn is in a big step up fight considering his last opponent, Sebastian Formella, who obviously fought Sean Porter but didn't win a single moment in that fight. This is a real step up, a real test for Conor Benn. It's interesting the route that they're taking Conor Benn as well, not towards a British title, a European title. It seems like they're going for a world title straight away and are looking to get a good ranking within a governing body, specifically the WBA, because I think that he's had sanctioned fights from the WBA since his 14th, 15th fight which was against Kavula, I think. So Conor Benn is clearly looking to get a world title opportunity. He is ranked number 11 by the WBA. So Samuel Vargas, then maybe another step up. He's looking to go for a world title. I mean, he's completely bypassed the British scene and European scene, not because he's gone beyond that level, but because of the fights he's taking. You can't imagine him now going to fight for the British title or European title. Although I hope he would, because guess who's champion? David Avanesyan. Imagine that. Avanesyan versus Conor Benn. That would be a great fight. So that is definitely something that I would hope to see. And after the Josh Kelly fight, they did kind of talk about that. So maybe that is a possibility for the future, those two stepping in the ring. That would be a complete barn burner. That's an incredible fight. It's just whether Conor Benn wants to go the European route, considering he's on this WBA route and working towards a potential world title shot. He's not going to get it for a while because, as I said, he is ranked number 11, but that will come with time. It is just a little bit strange that he is young, he doesn't necessarily need to rush, so he could go through the European scene, and he'd get a wealth of experience by doing that because when he came in, he wasn't the most experienced boxer, he needed those experienced fights. So perhaps going the British route and European route could have given him some beneficial experience, but still, he's getting there, he's having some great fights and he keeps winning. As long as he keeps doing that, then he's on the right track. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below on your favourite subject, also grab that like button, and make sure you hit that subscribe button also. Thanks guys.